Hi everyone, David here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for coming back for another video. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing okay. I think it's kind of cold today. It's been raining, so I guess autumn's really setting in now. Finally bought a coat after downsizing a lot of stuff in my wardrobe. And I've also turned on the kotatsu. It's this, kotatsu is like a Japanese table with a heater underneath it. And it's got this kind of big fleecy futon blanket thing over the top of it, so you can keep nice and warm underneath. Yeah, so you might also see that I'm wearing a special shirt today. This might not mean anything to you, but it will do by the end of this video. So I'm going to talk about some Japanese music that I really love today. I haven't done music very much on this channel, have I? I've done that one video, I'll put a thumbnail there, of Japanese music by Prefecture. I hope that was interesting. I had a lot of fun making that. But today I'm going to focus on one group only, and that group is called Perfume. I don't know if you would have heard of those in England. I guess we don't have a lot of Japanese acts that are famous in England really, but Perfume are a band that I've known since before I came to Japan, and have seen in concert a few times now. Well, I guess we're on to 5 times now, so thought I'd introduce them to you because they made a big impact on me this year. So I'm going to do a bit of a run through of their career and any highlights for you to check out online later. I'm also going to make a playlist as well, so all the stuff I've talked about today, all the songs I mentioned, I'm going to put them in a little playlist. You can see them, I'll put a link in the description, so please check that out as well. Sit down with a cup of tea or something, just enjoy it. So before I start then, please like, subscribe, and what's the other one? Comment on this video, subscribe to the channel. Please share this video. If you have any friends who are really into Japanese music, please let them know about this video. Maybe it'll blow their tiny minds. And then, yeah, be team Perfume for all of us. Okay, so I'm gonna go set up. I'm gonna do like a presentation thing. I've been putting this off for ages because I really don't like making PowerPoints. But I've done it, so please enjoy and see you on the other side. Okay, I think I'm ready to start, so let's begin our little tour into Perfume. Okay, so I want to start with the members first. We've got 3 members, which are Achan, Nochi, and Kashiuka. Obviously, those are nicknames. They all grew up together in Hiroshima Prefecture, and they've been working together since they were teenagers. I think now they're in their sort of early 30s. And they're famous as well in Japan. They don't pop up on TV as much as some of the idol groups, but of course they do performances here and there, and also they are on the panel for the Masked Singer, which is the Japanese version of that, which is produced by Amazon Prime. You can probably watch that in other countries too, so they're very, very nice and friendly on that one. I think they also done some kind of collaborations with clothing lines, Perfume obviously, and kind of cosmetics as well. So they are kind of established names in Japanese culture, Japanese pop culture, let's say. Okay. They also have someone behind them pulling the strings, not manager, but a famous producer, which is Yasutaka Nakata. He has a group, Capsule, which is just him and another singer. So he's produced basically everything for Perfume. So yeah, most of the big hits will be produced by him, most of the albums too. He's also the producer for Kyari Pamu Pamu. You can also see that in the picture. She is yeah, another famous kind of Akihabara icon. So she's got some really interesting things as well. I guess her style, musically they're quite similar, because you know the producer's got that his kind of trademark style. But I'd say Kyari Pamu Pamu is a bit more kind of experimental and strange, I suppose, or kind of cute and fun, kawaii culture, that kind of stuff. Perfume perhaps a little bit more mainstream now than in comparison. But yeah, so if you're into Kyari Pamu Pamu, definitely check out Perfume, and vice versa, and even check out Capsule by Yasutaka Nakata. Now, Perfume as a group, they have some themes that pop up quite a lot in all of their works. I've gone through them. I managed to work out 3. Actually, one of those themes is the idea of 3. Of course, they're the 3 members, but that works into a lot of their kind of image as well. We've got a lot of triangles appearing in their things. We've got the best of CD, which was called P Cubed. So we've got cubes in there. That's a kind of power of 3. Yeah, I don't think I'm explaining it very well, but it does come up a lot. We've got the album level 3 as well. So 3 is a kind of magic number for them. The other theme I wanted to look at was futurism. There's a lot of kind of high-tech aspect to their concerts as well. I'll talk about the concerts a bit more later, but they're interested in using technology in new ways as well. And I think they're more of a technologically advanced group than some of the other ones. They're more willing to experiment with things. They've done like live simultaneous music video recordings. I'll show you that a bit later. That one's called Fusion. A lot of digital kind of graphics and things like that. Projection mapping, all those sort of things. It's really interesting, and obviously topics about futuristic things as well, like androids, kind of superficial plastic. I don't know. That's a kind of a modern world kind of idea. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not really an art critic, but yeah, androids. They've got what else? Cosmic Explorer. That's one of their albums as well. They're kind of talking about space travel and time travel and things like that. Another theme, a visual theme, is geometry. Now I talked about triangles before, but actually lots of polygons kind of pop up in their imagery. They like making, playing with shapes as well. Even though they've got quite technologically, I can't talk today, a technologically advanced image, they still use a lot of basic shapes as well in their visuals. You can see that in the videos. They're making shapes with their bodies, or they're part of logos, or parts of I don't know, image of videos as well. I couldn't really explain this as well as I thought I was going to, but yeah, geometry and polygons and all sorts of things, they're always in the mix somewhere. So look out for those when you're watching the videos, definitely. Okay, I'm going to dig myself out of my hole and start talking about their history. But this year I went to their concert for the Plasma Tour. I went actually 3 times in the end. Twice was kind of an accident because I wanted to go to the one in Osaka Castle Hall. But there was a ticket lottery. I wasn't sure if I was going to get in, so I went in for both of the days and managed to get 2 tickets. And I just happened to be on vacation in Fukuoka as well when they were playing, so we got a last minute ticket there and saw that. So that was a really great tour. I've seen them twice before as well. The first year I came to Japan in 2014, I saw them actually in Fukuoka again. I didn't really want to go that far, but it was a chance to go there because of my work schedule. But yeah, I saw I think their 5th tour over there, and before that even I saw them in England. Well, we're on their 2nd, I think, world tour. So they do start to travel around the world now. So if you have a chance to see those in London or wherever you are, then definitely check them out. Their tours are kind of incredible. I told you about the technological aspect of their tours. I've got to stop saying technological, I can't pronounce it. But their visuals and their kind of use of technology kind of blows my mind, really. I've never seen that from anyone else, in Japan or outside. I can't spoil too much about the Plasma Tour, just in case you're going to see it. It might be wrapping up soon, actually. But even this tour, which was fairly simple compared to their normal ones, they still did some really interesting artistic choices using, they do things with net curtains that you would blow your mind. So yeah, if you see the tour DVDs, definitely check those out too. Like I said, projection mapping is often used in their visuals too. Yeah, it was really amazing. Even though it was kind of consciously they're making a bit of a simpler visual this time, but they still could impress me. Some of the videos as well, you can see some live performances. I'll definitely check those out too. There's some really it's just interesting to see what they come up with each time. I'll talk about this a little bit later, but there's also some TV specials that you can probably watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime, where you can kind of see them in their full glory, what they did during COVID, when there weren't any audiences around. But yeah, definitely check them out on tour if you can. I've got my tour towel as well. So here's my thing from the Plasma tour. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just worried that they were going to sell out of everything, so I just bought what I could. In fact, this t-shirt is a extra large, which is quite roomy, but that was the only size they had left. Yeah, okay, so let's take a look through their history. So their early music, when they were still based in Hiroshima, they were kind of learning the ropes how to be musicians. But they moved to Tokyo in the end and became part of the kind of Akihabara, Shibuya, kind of cool electro pop kind of scene. And they signed to their first major label, which is Tokuma Japan. They did release various singles. I guess things work a bit differently in Japan compared to England, where you kind of have to launch with a big label unless you get some TikTok hit or something like that. But they did release some kind of underground singles that kind of built their image slowly. The best of which I would say was Electro World. I'm going to put little video clips in as well, so hope you're probably watching that already. And to kind of wrap up their move to a major label, they released the Complete Best album, which is kind of collection of all their little odds and ends that they released as mini singles. But that was kind of the start of things. Finally, they released their first studio album, Game, which came out in 2008, and did their first nationwide tour as well, the Game tour. Okay, so that really kind of cemented them as a force to be reckoned with. I think this is their biggest selling album, from what I researched anyway. Also had their breakout single, Polyrhythm, which was used in an NHK commercial, I think, about recycling. But that kind of broke them out. I think that was their first top 10 hit. So that's often used in their tours as well. That always seems to make it in the playlist. They're always very appreciative. Their fans who were there from the start. So appreciating Polyrhythm kind of remembers where they came from, I suppose. So each album, I'm going to select 3 kind of big cuts that I want to talk about. These are not all the singles. These are not necessarily the biggest songs either. They're just the ones I recommend to check out. So I put Polyrhythm on the list, Game, the title track, which I don't even think was actually a single, and Chocolate Disco, which, I mean, you want to hear a song called Chocolate Disco, don't you? So you can see how things started out by those videos that, you know, they've got the vision of this sort of technologically advanced image, but not quite the budget to totally fulfill it at that moment. But yeah, Game was a big success as an album. Then moved on next year to Triangle, often just called like the symbol rather than the word triangle. This is probably one of my favourite albums of theirs, and also the one that first got them their #1 singles. I think Love the World and, oh goodness, I researched all this but I'm going to forget it all. One Room Disco, I think, was the other #1. So they've got some #1s on the Oricon Japanese chart. And they got their first performance in the Nippon Budokan, which is the kind of the most, I don't know, famous performance area. So it's not like the biggest arena or anything like that, but the Budokan is like, it's like playing Wembley in England or something like that. It's like a major. You know you've made it if you're playing the Budokan. So I've got a few cuts as well. Edge, which is yeah, my #1 kind of cardio exercise anthem. Watch the video for that. The video for that is showing you some of the tour as well, so that's definitely look at that one at least. Dream Fighter, that's also one of their staples of their concert playlists. And I Still Love You, which I just love that video as well, so yeah, take a look at that, definitely. So yeah, definitely check out Triangle, especially if you're going to go on the cross trainer. Okay, let's move on to 2011. They celebrated their 10th anniversary and they did their first world tour. Now I say world tour, it was mostly in Asia. I think it was like Taiwan and Korea and a few other places in Asia. But there we go, they're starting to head out of Japan. This is another great album. They're all great albums, just check them all out. I've got to pick my battles here. So I recommended Laser Beam, which also, I think this was their #1 biggest selling single. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. That was my research anyway. Glitter as well, that was a nice one. And Ne just means like hey or something like that. Yeah, check out JPN as well. That was, yeah, I'm sure you can guess JPN stands for Japan, so still got their Japanese image in their sights, even though they were starting to look outside the country for success. Okay, now 2013, this is where I get into the picture. I first spotted Perfume. I was flying back from Japan from my vacation there, and they had like a little J-pop digest on one of the like little TV screens. So I just saw that. I saw Spring of Life, their single, and was kind of really into it. So I started to research them after that. I'd been into J-pop before, but yeah, this was the first time to see Perfume, and I haven't looked back since. Yeah, so Spring of Life is their one of the big singles from that. I think that was they've kind of got two charts in Japan. They've got the Oricon and the Billboard, is it? I don't know. Wikipedia says it was #1 on one of those, so I don't know if that counts or not. 1mm as well, and Magic of Love. They have another single there called Spending All My Time, which is all in English, which is kind of rare for them. They don't really do English that much. They also moved record labels to Universal. Again, that's part of the process of moving on to kind of international promotion. So this is level 3. This is the first album that I experienced that was coming out when I knew them already. All the other ones had already come out before I knew about them, so it was kind of a special album. I was really excited about this one. So yeah, check out level 3. There's that number 3 again. We had to wait a little while for the next album, and I was in Japan by this point, and I was excited to listen to Cosmic Explorer. This is their, what are we on now, 4th, 5th album. This came with a documentary, kind of behind the scenes movie, which I watched at the cinema, We Are Perfume. So that kind of showed their tour. It's a few bits in Japan, but also the world tour. I think it was even the same tour that I watched, I think, because I remember them going to London. Yeah, kind of their global conquest movie, including their soundtrack song Star Train. It's kind of a rare ballad, mid-tempo ballad for them, but yeah, got nice memories of that. It's kind of a point in my life that I really remember. I was just kind of fresh in Japan. What they do in Japan, they often release the singles quite far ahead of an album release. So I think Star Train came out in 2014, the same year as I came to Japan, but yeah, the album took a few years to come out. Flash, also a big one, and Pick Me Up. There's other choice cuts I'm gonna give you from Cosmic Explorer. What do we got next? We've got Future Pop. Yeah, so a few years later we had Future Pop, another album. This is our 6th album, I think. Now they're starting to really go overseas a lot. You start to see them in various little events. I think they played in the Cannes Film Festival and various little overseas international events. They also played Coachella, the big music festival in the United States. That was a kind of big deal. I remember watching that live on YouTube. That was quite exciting. They're kind of, I feel like the tempo of their albums is slowing down a bit. They still have the kind of techno pop style songs on there, but there's a lot more kind of slow paced ones. Now they're getting a bit older. They need to change their sound a little bit. But I can't say that about the first track I've recommended, Fusion. I think this was a collaboration with, who was that? It was like a mobile phone company. They did a really interesting video where they filmed it in 3 different locations at the same time, somehow simultaneously did it. I think it's to show their like 5G or something like that. Future Pop as well, that's the title track was amazing. I think that video is quite nice too, but I think that's a collaboration with Docomo or SoftBank or something like another mobile phone. A lot of collaborations this time. And probably the most famous song from this campaign was Tokyo Girl, which was used in a drama theme tune. So yeah, definitely watch that. It's got that real Tokyo feeling about it. What do we have? Now we're up to date. Now we're on to this year's album, Plasma. It took a while. We did have a greatest hits album, P Cubed, before that. But Plasma's finally here. This is our post-COVID, well, not post-COVID yet, but our COVID album. Again, I feel like it was slowing the pace down a little bit. They still have the up tempos as usual, but I feel like Perfume have evolved a bit from where they were in 2008, which of course is natural. Their first single, which is probably one of my favorite of theirs, the Time Warp, definitely check that out. Saisei, which I really love the video. They're kind of taking pieces from all their other videos too, making a bit of a collage, and Flow as well, which I didn't love to start with, but after I've seen them in the concert, I really like it now. And the title track, Plasma, it's only kind of an interlude, it's only like a minute or two long. Definitely check that out. It's got a lovely kind of 80s retro chill vibe, something. I don't know how to describe things. But yeah, so they had the P-Cubed Greatest Hits before that. That's all on Spotify or whatever if you want to check out their Greatest Hits. Very comprehensive, it's like 3 CDs. And they did, of course, a lot of concerts were cancelled during that time because of coronavirus. So they did make some specials using the big arenas without any people in them. You can see they're doing their Reframe series where they were doing some stage shows. There's the Polygon Wave tour. You can see, not tour, Polygon Wave, I don't know, event performance. You can see that on Amazon Prime. And there's the Time Warp Imaginary Museum, I think that's what it's called, on Netflix. That was a Netflix special. So you can see all these kind of performance things now. Definitely check them out. They made use of that extra space in the arenas by using a lot of technology. Okay, I guess that brings me back to normal. So there we go. I hope that convinces you to at least give it a try. Dip your toe into the waters of Perfume. I really love listening to them. It always kind of cheers me up, gives me a bit of adrenaline as well. Even if you're just doing a bit of cardio, you can watch. You can listen to their music as well. So yeah, like I said, I put the playlist in the description, so please check that out. That's all. If you have any questions or other recommendations or corrections, if I've made a big mess, that's fine. Leave a comment. Please like this video. I really tried. Please share this to all your music fans. And yeah, that's enough for me. So thank you very much for watching and take care. See you soon. Bye.